Hi, my name is Ivan and welcome to FlickStick Videos, the channel where I play almost every game with motion controls, also known as Gyro Aim. You read the title. Today we are talking about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. You know, the Xbox game that plays better with a PlayStation controller. This game was provided to me by Bethesda through Keymailer, but all of the opinions on this video are my own. Though I do not make any money making this video, so please consider donating to the channel using the Super Thanks button down below. Also like, subscribe, please. Developed by Machine Games, you know, the developers that made the last Wolfenstein games, instead of making a high-action, fast-paced FPS game, they made a stealth game, and a very good one at that.
Wait, what's still?
With amazing graphics, with extremely impressive ray traced global illumination, impressive subsurface scattering, and a huge amount of objects in every scene. This game is gorgeous and will probably run very well on your PC if you're not recording like me, because if you are recording, then you're probably gonna have a little bit of trouble like I did. Of course, it's an Indiana Jones game, so we can't forget the amazing soundtrack, and most important of all for the subject of today's video, amazing controls. Especially if you're playing on PC with a PlayStation controller. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, Xbox controllers lack some features that are standard on pretty much every other first-party controller. Using the motion sensors present on most modern controllers, like the DualShock 4 or the DualSense, we can emulate a mouse, thus giving us most of the advantages of a mouse on a controller, without any kind of aim assist. Granted, this is a slow-paced single-player game that doesn't require the same amount of precision and speed that competitive games do, but Gyro can still improve your experience, not only for aiming, but for picking up items. Now, I know this is a tiny thing, but have you ever tried picking up an item in a game like this with a controller? You align your character with the item, but then the camera isn't aligned, so you try pushing the analog just a little bit, and then you overshot it a little bit, and then you try to compensate moving the character, but this one step of the character is like way too much, and then the camera just... You know, it's just so frustrating. Like, I know this is a tiny thing, but like, you're gonna do this hundreds of times until you beat the game. You know, this has to feel good, and it just feels stiff. Because I'm so used to gyro aiming, seeing this happen is like super offensive to me. Just do this, you know, just use the fucking feature. And it's not like gyro will completely replace the right analog stick. I mean, it could. The Alpaca controller works great with this game, but for most of you, I assume you will use a more standard controller, so, you know, the correct way of using this is just using the analog stick to get close to your target, and then using gyro to do the rest of the tracking and target switching, and just aiming in general. Other improvements that gyro may provide are performing more actions at once, since you don't have to let go of your aim to press the face buttons, easily headshotting enemies, and for some people, it might even be more immersive. The thing is, Xbox controllers just do not have a gyro sensor, so all of these improvements are impossible on the platform that is famous for being the shooter platform. You know, make it make sense. Even more so in the case of this game, because this game is special when it comes to gyro. You see, adding gyro to a game can be very time consuming and out of the scope of the development. But Machine Games, intentionally or not, use Steam to do all the heavy lifting for them. Usually, to play a game with gyro on Steam, you need to check if the game allows for gamepad inputs and mouse inputs at the same time. This is called mixed inputs. Other than that, you need to change the bindings, you need to make workarounds for making menu navigation even possible, and even when you're done with all of that, you will probably need to ignore the constant glitch clicking that happens sometimes with games with this kind of feature. So yeah, it can be kind of a mess. But this is how you activate gyro on this game. Press the home button, go to controller configuration, gyro to mouse, change gyro activation button, and calibrate the dots per 360 value. And done! The controller glyphs do not flicker, and menus work perfectly, even with the mouse cursor on the screen. It's so simple and elegant, and yet almost no game does this. Other than that, Steam gyro settings are the best ones that you can find. For starters, the sensitivity follows the natural sensitivity scale, which means that when set to 1x, 1 degree in real life will translate to 1 degree in game. When set to 4x, 1 degree in real life would translate to 4 degrees in-game. Other than that, Steam has some very useful smoothing options that aren't present even in the best native gyro implementations out there, making the experience extra smooth. It's a different day, different lighting, different camera angle because I had to record this on another day, but here we go. Steam also allows me to activate FlickStick. FlickStick allows me to snap the camera to the angle that I pointed with the right analog stick, or to sweep smoothly if I put the analog forward first. I know, it's a little weird, especially for people that are already used to analog sticks, but it's super fun and precise to use once you get used to it. In fact, I believe this is one of the best games to learn how to play with gyro, because it's a single player game and it's a little slow paced. If you want to play the game like this, I made your life even easier, because you can just import my configurations and start playing right away. No need to configure the gyro activation button or the pixel per 360 calibration. To import my configurations, go to Steam, Settings, In-Game, and check Use Big Picture Overlay when using a controller. Now, open the game, press the Home button, go to Controller Settings, click on the name of the layout, go to the Community tab, press the Show All Layouts button, then apply my configuration called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Gyro Always On, or Indiana Jones and the Great Circle FlickStick configuration. Just make sure to leave the mouse sensitivity of the game at the default value. Once everything is set up, use the analog sticks to look around and slightly rotate your wrists to make more precise movements. Hold R3 to disable gyro and reposition the controller. I wish I had more to say, but this is just an incredible game with incredible controls, with perfect mix inputs implementation. At this point, I just wish they added, native gyro implementation, but this is the next best thing, for sure. For more motion control games and tips, I have a list with every game that I ever made a configuration for. And by the way, I don't make any money doing any of this, so please consider donating to the channel using the Super Thanks button down below. And of course, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.